If you've done any sort of research on the suburbs of Cleveland, chances are you've come across a city that is called Westlake, Ohio. Now, Westlake is one of those cities that gives you that perfect small town feeling, but also has some really great upscale vibes. The amenities that the city has to offer are so far above the different suburbs of the greater Cleveland area that if you're lucky enough to move here, you're probably never going to want to leave. My name is Sam Oler and I'm a realtor in the Cleveland area. I help a bunch of families every year relocate to the area, and I also help a ton of different families sell. Whether you're looking to relocate, upsize, or downsize, I've got your back. Now, jumping into today's topic, which is Westlake, Ohio, located in Cuyahoga County, you're probably going to be about a 25-minute drive or so to downtown Cleveland. And to get over there, it's incredibly easy. There's a ton of highway access all throughout the city, and I-90 is going to be the one and only highway that you need to get to downtown itself. Now, a little history about Westlake. It was first settled in 1810, and it was known as Dover Township at the time. But in 1901, part of the northern part of the township decided to secede from Bay Village, and in 1912, the southern portion left to join North Olmsted, and the remaining township residents formed Dover Village in 1913, taking with it a portion of Olmsted Township. In order to avoid confusion with the city Dover in Midwestern Ohio, Dover Village was renamed to Westlake in 1940, and the village of Westlake became an actual city of Ohio in 1957. Now, the city of Westlake is more of an upscale feel to it. You've got some newer shopping centers, a lot of newer houses, and all of the houses in the area are treated super well. So most of the ones that you're going to tour if you ever visit are probably going to be updated in some sort. And with the more upscale environment, you're going to have higher prices just naturally. But this city is one that is extremely sought after. So the median price point for the area is right around $345,000, a little bit less. But year over year, the home sale prices are up over 12%. So that just shows how much demand there is for Westlake. And another stat to help prove that point even further, the homes in the city are lasting so much less time on the market. Last year, they were sitting for about 10 days before they'd go under contract, and this year they're sitting only 5 days. Average homes are selling about 2% above list price, and hot homes, which are ones that have been renovated and are in extremely good condition, those are selling around 6% above list price. So to put that into perspective, at your average home price of $340,000, you're sitting right around $7,000 for that middle range as far as above list price goes, and then on the higher end, you're going upwards of $20,000. There's a lot of people who are seeking this city in general just because of the amenities that it has to offer in the great school district. The majority of the people that are moving to Westlake, Ohio are coming from out west if they're coming from out of state. However, there's also a ton that are coming from a close proximity, maybe someone who lives in a different suburb of Cleveland. The different states that people are relocating from can include anything from California to Washington and New York. There are a bunch more on the list, however, those 3 states make up the majority of it. And something to think about if you've never been to the Cleveland area is that we're probably not going to end up with any sort of hurricane, drought, fires. We're a pretty relaxed climate with the majority of our issues coming from storms. Now, when storms hit as the weather's transitioning in spring and fall, a lot of the times we get some pretty heavy rainstorms, and the biggest damage that you're going to have to worry about in most of these cities is going to be 1, flooding basements, and 2, fallen tree limbs, or fallen trees in general. This area of Westlake is incredibly wooded, and there's some very old trees that have been around longer than most of these houses. So if there's a house that was built close to one of those older trees, you want to keep a very close eye on the limbs. If there's dead limbs, you're going to want to get those chopped off and maintain the tree. That way you don't have to file any sort of insurance claim or run into some sort of disaster when the storm hits, and your tracks are going to be completely covered, protecting you from having to deal with any of that. Now, with the heavy downpours, we have a lot of systems in place that allow for the rainwater to wash away, and that way it's not really a risk for most houses. However, the older ones can still have some issues. All of our storm drains are completely kept up with, so there's never really any issues with flooding roads unless something severe really comes through, but that's 1 in a million. It rarely happens. The majority of the issues on the old houses are going to be coming from poor grading that's on the outside. So when the dirt is up against the house, you want the rainwater to be washing away from it and not towards it. So if this is the house and the grass is tilted away, the rainwater is naturally going to go down. And opposite of that, if it's flowing towards the house, the water is going to naturally fall right into the base of the house, and it's going to work its way into the basement, and that's where flooded basements come from. Now, as long as you keep up with the grading, 90% of the time you're not going to have any issues with water. However, there are more preventative measures that you can take. You can get a sump pump installed in the basement. You can have extra drain tile installed around the house on the inside perimeter of the basement, and most of the time you don't need to do that, but it's always an option. Now with newer houses, when you have them built, the builders are going to do that final grade for you, so it's going to be in the right condition when you buy it. And then also, sump pumps are mandatory on new homes, so everyone you walk in past a certain date, as long as it's relatively new, it's going to have a sump pump in the basement, which basically just grabs all the water from the foundation and pumps it out somewhere else, so that way it is not staying at the foundation, allowing it to get inside of your home. Depending on where you're trying to live in Westlake, Ohio, it's not incredibly walkable. Now, like I said, this is a suburban area, so you're going to have houses that are relatively close together, but once you get out on the main roads, the shopping is kind of spread out sporadically throughout the city. So unless you live in some sort of townhome or an apartment above a shopping center, you're probably not going to be able to walk to a store very easily. You're more than likely going to have to get in a car and drive. However, the drive is going to be less than 10 minutes in most cases, depending on where you're at in the city. It doesn't really give you that urban vibe like you get when you're in Lakewood, Tremont, or even Ohio City. Those areas you can buy a house and then just walk down the street and then have a ton of different stuff available to you, whether it be retail shopping, grocery shopping, or even restaurants. I also mentioned that there are some different developments that are going up still, and townhomes are going to be ranging in that $300K price range depending on what finishes you choose. That's right around where they start at, but if you start to choose higher end finishes, the price is just going to go up from there. And new build single family developments are starting right around $600,000. So with the new builds, naturally you're going to get a little bit better product, a much bigger house, but it is going to be on the higher end of pricing in the greater Cleveland area. If you want some extra information about new builds, definitely go check out some of my other videos. I've got a lot of detail on what you can expect when you build a new house in the area. Now, a lot of the demand for the Westlake area comes because of the school system. Now, the school system here is incredible. They're ranked close to 1,200 in the nation, but they are ranked number 43 in Ohio, according to US News. Now, being ranked 43 in Ohio, that gives them a scorecard of 93, and that scorecard basically just indicates how good of a job the school does of preparing their students for after high school life, whether they be going into the workforce or if they're going to continue their education and work from there. Now, Westlake High School offers a lot more sports than most places. In the fall, they're going to offer everything from cross country to golf to cheer, tennis, soccer, volleyball, football. In the winter, you're going to have basketball, gymnastics, bowling, swimming, cheer, and hockey. I kind of wish my high school had hockey when I was going there. Not that I would have played because I was a soccer player, but it would have been really cool to go and watch my friends kick some butt. And in the spring, Westlake High School offers baseball, track, tennis, lacrosse, and softball. Now I know what you're thinking, the majority of the kids that go to high schools probably aren't going to participate in a sport. However, they have the opportunity to get involved in other ways. There's different arts that they can get involved with, and some of those include drama, instrumental music, vocal music, and they even have a high school TV station which the kids give a weekly news update with a report of everything that's going on that the other students need to know about, which I think is a super cool opportunity. You don't see too many high schools offering something like this anywhere. And if the students don't really care much for art or drama, they still have another opportunity to get into a different type of extracurricular, and the high school offers everything from academic challenge to builders club, ski club, and even student council. So does Westlake offer a ton of different options for their students? Absolutely. Do I think it's a great school to go to? Definitely. But if you're looking to buy a home in the area, chances are you're probably going to want to know whether or not there are jobs available in the surrounding areas. So within Westlake, Ohio, there are over 29,000 job openings, and that is within a perimeter around the city of a certain amount of drive time. And the average salary in the area is sitting right around $50,000, and that is including all lower and higher salaries. And your average household income for the area is sitting right around $90,000. Now, if you've got a different skill set or a higher degree of education, you can have jobs ranging up to $120,000, or if you're working a minimum wage job, you're going to be all the way down at the $20,000 mark. But the average person in Westlake, Ohio is only driving 24 minutes to work, which is a few minutes less than the average for everyone else in the different suburbs surrounding it. Now, moving to this more sought after area, you're going to have a little bit higher quality as far as restaurants, activities, and shopping goes. Now, there are two main areas that you're going to spend most of your time shopping, and one of those is going to be more of an industrial style regular shopping center where you're going to have all of your stores in one big parking lot. And then the other shopping center that you're going to spend the majority of your time at is probably going to be Crocker Park. Now, Crocker Park is more of an outdoor mall feel to it. It's incredibly nice. You've got apartments above the stores in the area, and with it being a little bit more upscale, you're going to have higher quality stores in that. And some of those more trendy stores are going to include things like Lululemon, Trader Joe's, Banana Republic, and there's so many more. If you want some more information as far as the stores that they offer, just go on Google Maps, zoom in, and you can find everything that they have listed, or you can go to their website and see the different options they have to choose from. Along with the retail shopping, there's a bunch of different restaurants that you can choose from. There's two that I go to regularly in there, and one of them is Yard House. And Yard House is more of a classy pub style. It's got some really great food, so if you find yourself wanting some bar food, definitely go check them out. And the other restaurant that I frequent, not only in Crocker Park, but all around Ohio, is going to be Condado Tacos. Now they've got a street style taco that they offer, and you can have some pre-made ones or you can build your own. I personally use the pre-made ones from Condado. I like those ones a little bit better. And if you want to build your own taco, I would say hold off until you go to Barrio, but Barrio is not in Westlake. You've got one in pretty close proximity in Lakewood, or you can make your way down to Strongsville, but if you're going to Condado, definitely stick to those pre-made ones. Now on the topic of trendy, you're gonna find different grocery stores in Crocker Park that are pretty trendy for the area. One of them is going to be Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is where all the hip people are shopping. It's a great store. They've got great organic food, but you're also going to have some different grocery shopping options such as Giant Eagle and Aldi in close proximity as well. Now Crocker Park is probably one of those places that you're going to spend a lot of time just shopping, enjoying your time, but if you're not really a shopper, there are still a ton of different activities to choose from in Westlake, Ohio. Now I'm going to touch on my favorite one, and that is playing soccer. They've got a Force Sports in the area, and there's rec league soccer, and I play there all the time. I've got a broken ankle right now, which I'm coming off of, so I'm out for a few months, but the second I heal, you better bet that I'll be back on the field playing over there. And if you happen to want to join some teams, definitely reach out to me. I can help you get started with that. And if you're not much of a high-paced sports type of person, there's still the opportunity to go to all the different metro parks around. Cleveland's got some of the most beautiful metro parks that I've been to in a very close proximity. You've got very fast access to work your way over into Rocky River Reservation, and there's going to be a ton of different hiking. And if you work your way southeast, you're going to have a whole national park to go and explore. The Cuyahoga Valley National Park is one of those that just have some serene overlooks and amazing sightseeing opportunities. So if you're in the area, definitely go check it out. Don't slack like I did when I was young and I didn't even realize that we had such a crazy piece of nature in our backyard. Another opportunity that you have to go take part in is going to be the Lakewood Country Club. And there you've got an amazing golf course, and that club has actually hosted part of the PGA-based televised tour. So if that doesn't tell you anything about the quality that has to offer, I don't know what does. But as far as the city of Westlake goes, they offer a ton of different events every year that are held annually. And some of those things might include different things like holiday parades, the annual tree lighting ceremony, an annual egg hunt for Easter, and so many more. Now, as far as Westlake, Ohio goes, would I live there? Absolutely. I live 10 minutes away from it as is, and I already spend a ton of time going over there for my shopping, all my sporting activities, and going there to spend some of my free time is something that I do take part in. So I know the city really well. I really enjoy everything that it has to offer. So if you're thinking about moving to the area, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss whatever your goals are and help you accomplish them in any way necessary. You can find all of my contact information down in the description, and make sure while you're down there you click that like button and the subscribe button, because it's going to keep you up to date with everything that I have going on and also everything that's Cleveland's got going on. I do a lot of videos based on the Cleveland area, so that way you can get all of your information from one source and not really have to deal with scouring around the internet. Now, with all of that being said, I'm going to leave the video there. I'll catch you in the next one.